Imagine a city so wild, so debauched, so utterly steeped in sin that when judgment finally came, it vanished beneath the waves in a single cataclysmic moment. Not ancient myth, not biblical parable, but a real place, a bustling port where pirates were kings, fortunes were made and lost on a roll of the dice, and every shadow held a secret. This wasn't some forgotten legend. This was Port Royal, Jamaica, the wickedest city on earth. And what happened to it on June 7th, 1692, defies belief. How does an entire city, thriving with life, simply disappear? To understand this mystery, we need to peel back the layers of history to a time when empires clashed and the high seas were a lawless frontier. In the mid-17th century, England seized Jamaica from Spain. To protect its new acquisition from Spanish retribution, they devised a cunning plan. They didn't build massive fortresses overnight, nor did they populate the island with loyal soldiers. Instead, they invited the very men who struck terror into the hearts of Spanish captains, privateers, buccaneers, and pirates. Port Royal, strategically located at the mouth of Kingston Harbour, became their unofficial headquarters. It was a place where the infamous Henry Morgan, known for his audacious raids, held sway, becoming lieutenant governor after years of plundering. This wasn't just a pirate hideout, it was a flourishing metropolis, a melting pot of cultures, riches, and vice. Its deep, protected harbour made it perfect for refitting ships, trading stolen goods, and most importantly, spending ill-gotten gains. Gold, silver, silks, and spices flowed in, and with them every imaginable pleasure and indulgence. Rum houses outnumbered churches, taverns spilled patrons into the streets at all hours, and fortunes changed hands faster than the tide. This city represented the very pinnacle of unrestrained freedom, a place where legal boundaries blurred and the pursuit of wealth, no matter how obtained, was the ultimate virtue. Its rapid growth was astounding. From a mere fort, it ballooned into the largest English city in the Americas within decades, a testament to the sheer volume of wealth being funneled through its docks. But this dizzying rise carried with it an unspoken, ominous tension, a sense that such excess could not, would not, last. Indeed, the city's very foundations were precarious, not just morally, but physically. Port Royal was built largely on a spit of sand and loose sediment, known as the palisados, a geological anomaly that allowed for rapid construction but offered little stability. Houses were erected quickly, often 3 or 4 stories high, with little regard for future seismic activity. The waterfront was a labyrinth of wharves and warehouses, all bustling with activity, yet all resting on unconsolidated ground. The deeper you looked into Port Royal, the more layers of mystery began to reveal themselves. Shipwrecks often occurred right in the harbour entrance, due to shifting sands and a lack of proper charts, adding to the lore and danger of the place. Many believed the city was cursed, a haven for the damned, where every vice was practiced openly. Gambling dens, brothels, and taverns were the pillars of its economy, attracting adventurers and outlaws from across the globe. Preachers railed against the city's decadence, warning of impending divine wrath, but their words were drowned out by the raucous laughter, the clinking of coins, and the celebratory cannons of returning pirate ships. The sheer audacity of the place was unparalleled. It was a city that defied convention, embraced chaos, and flaunted its wickedness with a kind of perverse pride. As the 17th century drew to a close, Port Royal was at the height of its power and infamy, a sparkling jewel in the crown of maritime trade, yet also a ticking time bomb, built on both shifting sands and moral depravity. The question wasn't if judgment would come, but how, and when? And the answer, when it arrived, was truly spectacular in its devastation, far beyond anything mortal hands could conjure or even imagine. The very ground beneath them, which had permitted their opulence, would betray them in the most horrifying way possible. The sense of an impending reckoning grew with each passing year, yet the inhabitants, blinded by gold and revelry, paid little heed. They were untouchable, or so they believed. Then, on the morning of June 7th, 1692, at exactly 11:43 a.m., the world shattered. Without warning, a massive earthquake, estimated to be around 7.5 on the Richter scale, struck the island of Jamaica. But Port Royal, due to its unique geological makeup, experienced something far worse than mere shaking. The ground beneath it, liquefied by the tremors, turned to quicksand. Eyewitness accounts are chilling. Houses, taverns, and warehouses didn't just collapse, they were swallowed whole, sinking into the earth at terrifying speed. Streets buckled like waves, and people were thrown into chasms that opened up seemingly from nowhere. One survivor, Reverend Heath, described seeing a man on horseback disappear into a crevice, only for the earth to close up again, crushing him instantly. It wasn't just buildings that vanished, entire sections of the city slid into the harbor. The sea itself became a weapon. A monstrous tsunami, triggered by the underwater landslips, swept over the remaining parts of the city, dragging countless victims and wreckage out into the open ocean. Ships in the harbor were capsized or slammed onto land. Those who clung to debris or managed to scramble onto remaining land watched in horror as their city, their entire world, disintegrated before their eyes. The air filled with dust, screams, and the roar of the collapsing earth. It was chaos on an unimaginable scale, a scene of biblical proportions. Many believed it was divine retribution, the hand of God striking down a city steeped in sin. Survivors reported seeing bodies float to the surface of the harbor, only to be devoured by sharks that had swum in close, drawn by the carnage. The earthquake lasted only a few minutes, but its impact was eternal. Two-thirds of the city, approximately 33 acres, sank beneath the waves in less than 3 minutes. An estimated 2,000 people died instantly, with thousands more succumbing to injuries and disease in the days and weeks that followed. The thriving, illicit heart of the Caribbean was gone, plunged into an watery grave, a silent testament to the raw, untamed power of nature. In the immediate aftermath, Port Royal was a scene of utter desolation. What remained was a ghost of its former self, its future uncertain. Attempts were made to rebuild, but yellow fever epidemics and further smaller earthquakes plagued the survivors. The port's prominence waned, and Kingston eventually rose to become the island's main city. Port Royal, the once proud pirate haven, became a mere footnote, its incredible story fading into legend. But it didn't truly disappear. Over the centuries, the sunken city became an archaeological goldmine. Divers, starting in the 1950s and continuing to this day, have explored the underwater ruins, bringing to light an incredible trove of artifacts. Entire buildings, frozen in time, have been discovered remarkably preserved beneath the silt and sand. Pewter plates, ceramic jars, intact bottles of wine, and even personal items like pocket watches, one found stopped at 11:43, offer an eerie glimpse into the final moments of the inhabitants. It's a snapshot of 17th century life, perfectly preserved, a chilling testament to the speed and ferocity of the disaster. These archaeological expeditions have not only confirmed the historical accounts, but have also revealed the extraordinary details of how this city of sin truly sank. Port Royal remains a captivating enigma, a cautionary tale whispered through time. It serves as a stark reminder of both the transient nature of human ambition and the relentless power of the natural world. While the physical city may lie submerged, its story continues to fascinate, its dark legacy enduring, leaving us to wonder, was it merely a geological catastrophe or something more profound, a reckoning for the wickedest city on Earth? Perhaps, as with many of history's deepest mysteries, the full truth will forever remain just out of reach, hidden beneath the shifting sands and murmuring currents of Kingston Harbour.